Hello everybody and welcome back again. This video is about the quarterfinal matches that we saw earlier today in Shanghai and a little preview of the semifinal matches that are in ahead of us. So to begin with, the quarterfinal matches, almost every top seed was there and it was like a minefield. You didn't know in advance where this mine was gonna blow up. I had Novak Djokovic as the winner in the tournament. I thought that he was gonna win against Tsitsipas. That's for sure. I had that in my preview and I stood by that even yesterday when I made my quarterfinal preview video. But this young Greek showed that he is a force to count on in the future. Of course, everybody knows that entering a Grand Slam where you have to win 7 matches is a total difference between winning a Masters where you have to only win 5 matches, and that's in 3 sets matches. So these young lads, this young generation, these dudes that had tried to defeat the big three have on some occasions beat the big three in Masters or 500 tournaments, because Federer, Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic doesn't play ATP 200 tournaments. So today Tsitsipas showed that it's possible, and Zverev also, and the young Italian dude Berrettini beat an experienced player like Dominic Thiem. He's like in the middle age of his tennis career, so he has still a lot of things to achieve in his career. He did a great, superb match where he beat Dominic Thiem in 2 straight sets. And then we have the new super consistent ball striker from Russia, Daniil Medvedev, who stepped on the court today against Fabio Fognini, the Italian wizard. He showed why he has been the most consistent player this year, especially since summer, where the grass court season ended and when the hard court season and when he entered the hard court season. So he has now really showed that he's a force to count on also in the future, more than Tsitsipas, more than Thiem, more than Zverev, more than Aliassime, more than everybody else on the tour. So to begin with, we can start talking about Medvedev's performance against Fabio Fognini. As we all know, he's a ball machine. He barely misses. He barely does an unforced error. He showed today the same package, the same pattern that we have seen the couple of 2 months. And the important thing today for him was his serve, because he served superb today. I think he had 80 or 19 first serves point winning in his first serve, and that just shows how difficult it is to get your teeth into his serve. To even receive a break chance, it's very difficult. And as we all know, Shanghai is a super fast surface, and a player like Fognini, who has a short swing, doesn't have so much time to benefit from this fast surface, and that's why he couldn't get through Medvedev's serve in the beginning. Also because he serves good, and Fabio Fognini has showed in these latest 2 tournaments, especially here in Shanghai, that his slice serve with angles are a very, very rewarding serve, because he and some players have benefited from serve with the slice serve. Guys like Berrettini, him, Federer is the master in that area. He couldn't do anything today against Medvedev simply because Medvedev didn't give him a chance. He was the much better player in that match. Fognini was a little bit nervous. He made some crucial mistakes in crucial moments, and that was enough for Medvedev to win this match, and he did that. And he has a superb chance of defeating Tsitsipas in the upcoming semifinal, because he's 4-0 up in the head-to-head stats. I think he beat him three times last year and have won against him once this year, if I'm not mistaken. So 4-0 to him. And how can Tsitsipas beat Medvedev? He has to get him out of his comfort zone, which is the baseline. He has to chip and charge. He has to create angles, different shot selections. He has to make some surprise elements, because we all know he has a huge game in him, Tsitsipas, the young Greek. He's one of the next gen players that we are probably going to see as a Grand Slam winner. But is that enough for a red hot player like Medvedev? I don't think so. Maybe it can be a tight match. It can go to a decider, but I think that Medvedev will reach his 6th or 7th straight final. I forgot again how many numbers that are, but the last tournament on this Asian swing, I think Medvedev want to collect his second Masters title in his career, and he has a big chance now when the number 1 and number 2 and the number 4 seed is out of the tournament. He's the guy who's still standing there, and he will probably win that match, but you never know. It could be another mine in the semifinal that can blow up, and Tsitsipas can reach his I think his second or third Masters final. But anyway, and now about the match between Alexander Zverev and Roger Federer. What can we say about Zverev? His performance today showed that this guy is good. We saw everything that we have wishing to see in Grand Slams. He showed some of his potential today, that he's a coming superstar player. He has been here for a while now, but he hasn't delivered in Grand Slams. He has played okay in Masters. He have won 2 titles or 3, I think, if I can remember correctly. And today, against Federer, he showed that I knew that this match was going to be tricky, because they have three in the head-to-head section, and I know that he's a difficult matchup for Roger Federer. So he did everything great today. His serve was superb. He only did 1 double fault. He won like 80% of his first serves in the points there. He barely lost a point in his first serve. And in the second set, when he had 3 match points, when he didn't choke, but he was a little bit nervous, and Federer got some luck there, because Zverev had 5 first serves in that game when he's gonna serve for the match, but still blew it. Federer came back, and I thought in my mind, Federer is gonna turn this table around. It's gonna be the opposite of the Wimbledon final, where he had match points in his serve and failed to deliver. Zverev had that chance. Federer leveled the set. It went to tiebreak, where he had another match point, but Federer somehow, with the great luck and of course experience, he turned this set around. He equaled the match, and I thought in the third set that he's gonna win this match pretty comfortable in the third set, but I was wrong as usual. And Zverev is gonna be a real threat for Berrettini. They have 1-1 in the head-to-head, I think. They met two times before, and that was in Rome, both of the matches this year, where I think Berrettini won, and or was it opposite? I think Berrettini won last year in Rome against Zverev, and Zverev won this year against him in Rome. So that's gonna be a very, very hard match to predict. If he can keep this level, Zverev, I think he will win. If he can put up a performance like today, he will win this match against Berrettini. But you never know with Zverev. I don't trust his consistency level, and he should have a great chance of also defeating Zverev. This match is 60-40, I think, in advantage for Zverev. But You never know. Today against Team Berrettini was like we have seen him on the grass court season and the hard court season. He reached the semifinal of US Open. He went deep here now in Shanghai, where he has reached his second straight semifinals. I forgot if he played in Beijing or Tokyo, but anyway, a semifinal is good for him because him and Zverev are chasing that one of the 8 spots in the ATP finals later in November in London. So Fed, the big three, together with Dominic Thiem, Tsitsipas and Medvedev, have secured their places in the ATP finals, and there are only 2 spots left. And Berrettini and Zverev took a step closer to that final because they're collecting a couple of points, and one of them is gonna collect at least 600 points in the semifinal if they lose there and reach the finals. Otherwise, it's 360 points, and that's good for them. But anyway, Thiem and Berrettini, it was a tight match. If you look, it was a 2 straight sets win, but it was first set was very tight. It went to tie break, and they won equally points totally in the match. I think it was 68 points each, and that shows that the match was not that the 2 straight sets win was not that easy as it looked. And to go back to Roger's performance today, he looked very slow. He wasn't sharp. He played exactly like he played against Goffin, and that's not enough for a player if you're going to meet a player like Zverev, because Federer only managed to win 62% of his first serves in, and that's not enough. That's not enough. And 29% of his receiving points. That's not okay either. But he was so close of getting out of jail again, like he did against Goffin, but he wasn't clutching in the first set. He wasn't good enough in the first set, to be honest. Zverev was the better player in the first set, hands down. So the semifinals, I predict a Zverev and a Daniil Medvedev final. Yeah, if that goes in, it's going to be very interesting again. Either way, it's going to be interesting because we have new bloods here, and one of these guys can collect their first Masters of the year, except Medvedev. He can collect his second Masters of the year. Berrettini can win his first. Zverev won his first match against a top 10 ranked player this year also, because we all know he has been under the ice this year. He hasn't performed. He hasn't done a good results in the major tournaments this year, Zverev. So this is good because in this end of the season, you know, after US Open, Nadal barely plays. If he plays the ATP finals. Djokovic has played the whole year. He's tired. He has been injured. Federer is starting to get slow. He's not that fast that he was in the beginning of the season. So in the end of these last 2 months, things can happen. The lower ranked players, the upcoming players can have a chance. We saw last year in the ATP finals where Zverev won. We saw at the ATP Masters in Paris where Kachanov beat Djokovic. And then we have a couple of, I think we have the ATP 500 tournaments in the Basel, and the European swing starts again from next week. We have some tournaments in Stockholm, Geneva, I think, or Vienna, I think also. I forgot where, but anyway, these big 3 players, they are humans only. I think most of them are tired now. They want to end the season. They have this last gas in their tank, and Federer is now aiming for Basel, Paris, and the ATP finals. And I think Novak will be prepared for the ATP Masters in Paris to defend his final spot there, and then go to London and end the season. So it's going to be some interesting tennis left. At least Not from the big three, I think. Some of them maybe will win one of these big tournaments, but we're gonna see some young blood, and I hope that they can perform even next year. All right, folks. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.